If you're over 60 and want a straight answer, I'll give it to you right now. The number one protein source to strengthen your legs and muscles, even at 90 years old, is whey protein, known as whey, delivering 25 grams per serving and a concentration of 2.7 grams of leucine, which is exactly the threshold your body needs to activate muscle synthesis after 60. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in March 2024 confirmed that adults between 70 and 85 years old who consumed 25 grams of whey a day for 12 weeks recovered 31% more muscle mass than those who used conventional animal protein. That's the short answer. Now stay with me for the next 22 minutes because I'm going to explain the other 4 protein sources in the top 5, the exact amount you need according to your weight, and the multiplier factor that will make your body take advantage of 100% of that protein instead of wasting 40% like it's happening to you right now. Let's start by understanding what's happening to your body with precise numbers. The Pan American Health Organization published a report in February 2025 that should be on every country's news broadcast. 43% of adults over 60 in Latin America suffer from sarcopenia, that is, progressive loss of muscle mass. Almost half of the continent's grandparents are losing the engine that holds them upright, and most don't even know that word exists. Let's get concrete. Starting at age 50, the human body loses between 1% and 2% of muscle every 12 months if nothing is done about it. Let me give you an example with numbers. If you weigh 70 kilos and have approximately 28 kilos of muscle tissue, in the next decade, you can lose between 2.8 and 5.6 kilos of muscle. It's as if they took away 5 bricks from the structure that holds you up without giving you anything back in return. And the problem gets worse because of something that almost nobody mentions in medical consultations. A recent investigation published in the Journal of the American Medical Association in January 2025 confirms that after age 60, the daily protein requirement rises to between 1.2 and 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. However, 68% of older adults in Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, and Peru barely reach 0.8 grams per kilo. Translated to reality, almost 7 out of every 10 older people eat half of what their body is crying out for. Now, why do I insist on this so much? Because we're not talking about aesthetics, we're not talking about vanity. We're talking about survival. Data from Foundation Santa Fe Hospital in Bogota, reported in April 2025, shows that 27% of older adults who suffer a hip fracture die within the following 12 months after the accident. 1 out of every 4. And the primary cause of those fractures is not weak bone. It's the leg that no longer responds, the muscle that didn't react in time to prevent the fall. Imagine your body as a house that has been standing for 70 or 80 years. The original walls have withstood sun, rain, small earthquakes, furniture moves. Protein is the fresh cement that repairs every crack before it becomes a hole. Without that daily cement, the house does not collapse from one day to the next. It weakens in silence until a wall gives way without warning. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the 5 most powerful protein sources ranked from position 5 to 1, with the exact amounts you need per week and the studies from the last 24 months that back them up. And toward the end, I'm going to explain the factor without which no protein works, even if you eat like a champion. Don't skip ahead in the video because that's where the secret almost nobody tells you lies. Protein 5. Whole egg. We start at position number 5 with something you probably have in your fridge right now. The whole egg, yolk and all. A medium egg provides 6.3 grams of top quality protein and 0.55 grams of leucine, that amino acid that later on is going to be the protagonist of this story. Here I need to make an important pause. For 40 years, between 1980 and 2020, medicine blamed the egg yolk for causing heart attacks. That information became obsolete. A meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal reviewed data from 601,000 people followed over 3 decades, and the conclusion was overwhelming. Consuming up to 7 eggs per week does not increase cardiovascular risk in healthy adults. And for older adults, the muscle benefit weighs much more than any historical fear of cholesterol. Why is the egg so valuable at this age? Because it contains the 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot make on its own. All 9, not a single one missing. The yolk, in addition, provides choline, a molecule that protects memory and concentration, something that interests us as much as strength in the legs. The practical recommendation based on current evidence, between 4 and 7 eggs per week, boiled, poached, or in an omelet with very little oil. At that pace, you add up between 25 and 44 grams of weekly protein from the egg alone. Now, if you live with type 2 diabetes or your LDL cholesterol exceeds 160 milligrams per deciliter, talk to your doctor first before increasing the dose. Every body has its own story and deserves a personalized adjustment. Protein 4. Oily fish. We move up to position number 4 with oily fish. Salmon, sardine, tuna, mackerel, and herring. A 150-gram portion of salmon provides 34 grams of complete protein plus 2.6 grams of omega-3, those good fats called EPA and DHA. Here's the reason why this food beats red meat for the aging muscle. One of the silent enemies of the body after 60 is chronic low-grade inflammation. Think of it as a small bonfire that burns inside your tissues 24 hours a day. You never see it, you never feel it burn, but it's slowly consuming your joints, your blood vessels, and yes, also your muscle. The omega-3 from oily fish puts out that fire. A study from the University of Aberdeen published in October 2024 took a group of adults over 65 and gave them 4 grams of omega-3 a day for 16 weeks. The result? The rate of muscle synthesis rose by 20% compared to the control group. That is the same piece of chicken or fish they were eating. The body took advantage of it 1/5 better simply by having enough omega-3 circulating. The practical recommendation: 2 portions of 150 grams of oily fish per week, which adds up to close to 68 grams of weekly protein, plus the anti-inflammatory effect. And if in your city fresh salmon is expensive, no problem. A can of sardines and water provides 22 grams of protein, costs up to 5 times less, and preserves practically the same nutrients. The sardine is the invisible champion of Latin American nutrition. Protein 3. Legumes. We arrive at position number 3, and here I want you to feel proud, because this food is part of our identity. Legumes. Beans, chickpeas, lentils, peas, fava beans, kidney beans. A 200-gram plate of cooked lentils provides 18 grams of protein, 15 grams of fiber, 6.6 milligrams of iron, and a generous dose of folate, that vitamin that protects the heart and the nervous system. The journal Nutrients published in September 2024 an 8-year follow-up of 3,400 older adults. The results surprised even the researchers. Those who consumed legumes at least 4 times per week had a 34% lower risk of developing physical frailty compared to those who ate them once a month or less. A third less risk just by respecting a traditional plate that our grandmothers defended their whole lives. Now, a technical detail that very few people explain. Legumes by themselves are incomplete protein because they're missing an amino acid called methionine. But when you combine them with rice, corn, or wheat, the profile completes itself, and you obtain a protein as good as that of meat. That's why Caribbean rice and beans, Costa Rican gallo pinto, Mexican pozole, and Andean lentils with rice are not just tradition. They're nutritional science applied for 500 years, long before the word protein even existed. The practical recommendation: 3 portions of 200 grams of legumes per week combined with cereal. This delivers close to 54 grams of weekly protein, plus an extraordinary amount of fiber that regulates your intestine. An additional tip: if you suffer from gas, soak the legumes for 8 hours before cooking them and throw out that water. It dramatically reduces the compounds that cause bloating. Protein 2. Chicken and turkey. We go to position number 2 with the irreplaceable classic, chicken and turkey breast. A 100-gram portion of cooked breast provides 31 grams of protein, 2.5 grams of leucine, and just 3.6 grams of fat. That combination makes it one of the most efficient proteins per calorie on the planet. The International Journal of Sport Nutrition and Exercise Metabolism published in June 2024 a finding that puts in order everything we're going to talk about next. To activate muscle building in an older adult, each main meal needs to reach a minimum threshold of 2.5 grams of leucine. Below that threshold, the switch does not turn on. Above it, the machinery starts producing new muscle. And a normal portion of breast meets that requirement exactly. Now I'm going to give you a piece of advice that can double the results without you eating a single gram more. The research of Dr. Douglas Patton-Jones at the University of Texas showed that spreading the protein across 3 meals of 30 grams activates muscle synthesis 25% more than concentrating 90 grams at dinner. Read me again. The same quantity distributed throughout the day produces a quarter more muscle. Let's translate this to your reality. If you weigh 70 kilos and need 90 grams daily, do not wait until night. 30 grams at breakfast, 30 at lunch, 30 at dinner. That single change, without spending a penny more, transforms how your body takes advantage of what you eat. Before revealing number 1 to you, I have to talk to you about a phenomenon that few doctors explain in their office, and that answers a question you may have been asking yourself for years. Why do you feel that you eat well, but your legs remain weak? It's called anabolic resistance. Starting at age 60, muscle becomes between 30% and 40% less sensitive to the signals sent by protein. It's as if it had gone deaf. The same portion that at 30 years old was building 100 grams of new muscle, at 70 barely builds 60. That's the reason why the 4 previous sources are good, but number 1 breaks the deafness. It enters the muscle through another route, through speed and through massive concentration of leucine. Protein 1. Whey protein. We reach position number 1. Whey protein, known as whey. A standard 30-gram scoop delivers 25 grams of pure protein and between 2.7 and 3.2 grams of leucine, absorbed by the intestine in just 30 to 60 minutes. No other natural source matches that speed nor that leucine load in a single serving. The studies keep piling up. The British Journal of Nutrition published in November 2024 a review of 49 clinical trials with older adults. The conclusion: consuming 25 grams of whey a day for 12 weeks, combined with light exercise, produced an average gain of 1.4 kilos of lean muscle. And the McMaster University research I mentioned at the beginning confirmed something almost astonishing. Adults of 80 years old who took whey after resistance exercises showed a muscle response equivalent to that of people of 45. Whey protein returned 35 years of biological efficiency to a body that life had already marked. How do you consume it in real life? In powder, dissolved in water or skim milk, once a day. Ideally 30 minutes after moving your body, or at breakfast if you're not training that day. A warning I cannot skip. If you live with kidney disease, if your glomerular filtration rate is below 60, or if you have uncontrolled diabetes, talk to your doctor before starting. Whey is safe for the vast majority, but a kidney working at its minimum deserves supervision. And if you don't want to buy a supplement, I have a secret for you. When you prepare homemade yogurt or when you buy artisanal fresh cheese, that yellowish liquid that stays floating on top is natural whey. It contains the same amino acids. Don't throw it out. Drink it or use it to prepare soups and smoothies. Nature was already giving you that protein for free, only nobody had explained its value to you. And here comes the part one promised you, the one that multiplies everything above. You can buy the best eggs on the market, the freshest salmon, the most nutritious lentils, and the most expensive whey in the world, and still lose half the benefit if you don't activate this factor: resistance movement. The studies are categorical. Consuming 100 grams of protein a day without muscle stimulus activates just 40% of the building potential. That same protein combined with 20 minutes of resistance exercise 3 times a week activates 100%. We are talking about doubling the result without adding a single gram of food. And I'm not talking about the gym. I'm not talking about 20-kilo weights. I'm talking about getting up from a chair 10 times in a row when you wake up, doing 15 squats, holding onto the backrest, climbing 20 steps spread throughout the day, walking 25 minutes with a firm pace. The Journal of Gerontology published in August 2024 the result of combining 25 grams of whey with 3 weekly sessions of 20 minutes of light exercise for 12 weeks. The participants gained 1.6 kilos of lean muscle and reduced by 28% the time it took them to get up from chair. That percentage sounds abstract on paper, but in real life, it means getting up alone, without help, without fear, without anyone having to give you a hand. Before we say goodbye, 3 reinforcements that multiply everything we've seen. First, vitamin D. A report from the Latin American Society of Endocrinology published in March 2025 shows that 72% of older adults on the continent have levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter. Without enough vitamin D, the muscle does not hear the protein signal even if you eat perfectly. The cheapest solution in the world: 15 to 20 minutes of direct sun on arms and legs, 5 times a week, before 10 in the morning or after 4 in the afternoon, so you don't damage your skin. Second, creatine monohydrate. Yes, creatine, that one many associate with young people at the gym. The Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research published in October 2024 a meta-analysis of 22 studies that showed increases of 18% in strength and 12% in physical function in older adults who consumed between 3 and 5 grams daily. Creatine is not a steroid. It's a molecule that your own liver manufactures and that after 60 begins to produce less. Consult your doctor before starting it. Third, and perhaps the most underestimated, sleep. During the deep phases of nighttime rest, the pituitary gland releases growth hormone, the master signal that orders the body to repair muscle. Sleeping less than 6 hours or sleeping in a fragmented way reduces that release by up to 70%. The goal is sacred: 7 to 8 continuous hours. If you have trouble falling asleep, stay away from the television and the cell phone 1 hour before going to bed, and don't consume coffee after 2 in the afternoon. Let's close in order. Position 5, whole egg, 4 to 7 per week. Position 4, oily fish, 2 portions of 150 grams per week. Position 3, legumes combined with cereal, 3 plates of 200 grams per week. Position 2, chicken or turkey breast, 100 grams spread across 3 daily meals. Position 1, whey protein, 25 grams a day. And the multiplier that lights everything up: 20 minutes of resistance exercise 3 times a week. Total protein goal: between 1.2 and 1.6 grams for every kilo of your weight, spread throughout the day. Everything I shared with you today comes from research published in indexed medical journals within the last 24 months. Even so, no video substitutes the consultation with your primary care doctor. If you take anticoagulants, if you live with kidney disease or uncontrolled diabetes, if you have any chronic condition, talk to your specialist before applying these changes. Your medical history is unique and deserves a plan made to fit you. And now a special favor, because this channel exists thanks to you, leave me in the comments 3 pieces of information. First, from what country you are listening to me. Second, how old you are. And third, which of the 5 protein sources you're going to start incorporating this week. That small gesture helps me know who I'm talking to, and it helps the channel reach more older people who need to hear this information. Also share this video with someone you care about. Your sister, your friend, your neighbor, your child, the person who takes care of you. It can save them a fall, a fracture, years of dependence. Give this video a like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to be the first to see our next video. We are Health Fit Seniors, and we want to leave you with this idea for you to think about all day. Muscles do not surrender with the years, they surrender with neglect. Feed them, move them, respect them, and they will respond to you until 90 with the firmness of an oak tree. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you soon.